It's 1987 and we're off to Kenya to celebrate GP's 50th birthday. We all meet in Nairobi and the next day it's off to Samburu on our chartered plane. Samburu National Park is about an hour north of Nairobi, and when we arrive, George, our big white hunter, does the paperwork and we set off in our Land Rovers for the camp, meeting an elephant on the way, our tents, which are very comfortable, and the lounge area where we have a drink in the evening, the dining room and the kitchen. We had 9 staff looking after the 6 of us. On our first afternoon we see impala and then some monkeys, and later on when we're about to return to the camp we get stuck. While we wait for the other Land Rover to help us, we see some lions stalking by watching us. Next morning we start with a herd of zebras and some dik-diks, and then a herd of Thompson gazelles. An eland, and later in the afternoon a lion appears out of the bushes and goes right in front of the Land Rover, chasing game. And next morning it's giraffe, having a little fight. We can't find this species anywhere in the book. And we see this little bat-eared fox poking his nose out of the bush, and then a wonderful sight, elephants in the river. Impala looking for food in the upper branches of a tree, and we take a walk up the hill to visit a local village. And here is the chief's wife and child, and we then pay a visit inside their living quarters, which are remarkably clean. Another problem with the car, and while it's being sorted out we take a walk down by the river and see some monkeys. Back in camp we either have lunch or dinner, probably lunch, and then next day it's off to the Ark Lodge, and on our way we pass this cheetah, probably looking for something to eat. And when we get closer to the Ark Lodge there's a buffalo, which are very dangerous animals, most unpredictable. At Ark Lodge you're supposed to see animals in this waterhole, but we didn't see anything. After one night in the Ark Lodge we set off for the Gilder Hills, and on a 60,000 acre farm we were allowed to walk instead of sitting in Land Rovers and stalk the animals, which was most exciting. You can see them down below there. And then this hyena got a bit of a shock when it looked up, and there was somebody in front of it. On my birthday we went up Mount Kenya for breakfast and opened a bottle of champagne to celebrate the occasion. The next day we set off for Lake Baringo, an 8-hour drive with some stops, and we sat for quite a long time waiting for the British Army to finish their artillery practice as the road was closed. At Lake Baringo our camp was in the middle of the lake, so we went over by boat, and there in the distance is the camp, and we had 2 nights there. And we saw this little bird. We took a boat across the river the next day, and up this creek we found the water was a little shallow, so we had to push the boat. We left 2 of the party behind, hoping the crocodiles wouldn't get them, while we went for a walk up the river, and we didn't see very much. Some brave souls went water skiing, although the water was a murky brown, and there were some rather nasty animals, crocodiles and things, in the area. water, as you can see, was pretty calm, but it was a very murky, chocolatey brown and not at all pleasant if you were worried about what was underneath. And there's Rosemary. We're off to the Masai Mara, the final camp in our tour, and there we expect to see the migration of the gnus or wildebeest, which we do, which is an amazing sight. And two jackal who were after Tommy's. A water hole where all sorts of animals gather, and they seem to get on well together there. No fighting. Vultures having lunch on a dead canoe, and then an incident in camp. A cobra got into Alice the T-girl's tent, spat in her eye, and then the boys managed to get it out and kill it. Shower tent. A demonstration of the shower facilities in the camp. And inside the shower is a normal shower head with an on-off. The staff at work. God up! Well done. Now, who wants to go inside the shower and demonstrate? And of course, even in Africa, you still have to clean your teeth, and it's better to do it outside.
Hey Rosemary, catch Mommy doing it.
Good morning.
You want to join us? Beer. Stuck in the mud again, but as George said, they use Land Rovers rather than Toyotas because they're British. This elephant is having a great time scratching his leg on a bush. It's hard to see, but that's what it's doing. While Mother is catching and preparing the dinner, the cubs are sitting around the pool, staring at something, but I don't know what. Perhaps fish. The lions then slope off and have a good look at the Land Rover, but decide not to do anything. And here we see our first and only rhinos, black rhinos. And down by the river, the hippos are having fun. Hippo sitting in the water. Hippos can move pretty fast when they want to, but this one didn't. See two in the water over there. And as we swing to the left, you can see the hippos in the river, but somebody is drinking coffee, not scared of them. And we did have breakfast on Move that day, and there it is. You can see the fried egg on the plate. Breakfast table. Good morning. An unknown species sitting on a rock, making a face. A little later we came across this little scene with a cheetah and 5 cubs, and they all came strolling over to where our Land Rovers were parked, and they went underneath for the shade. We had a hard time getting them out, We just had to sit and wait till they decided it was time to move. Cheetah up a tree in the early evening and decided there was nothing up there, so time to come down and to make her mark so that no other cheetahs would come around that area. Two local hunters that wanted a lift on their way home, and there they go off to their village. A bat-eared fox hiding in its hole and poking its nose up every now and again.
It's the male horns.
No, I see female.
Oh, he stopped. Get up.
You'll try again.
Females are straight up down. There's the female.
Some final snaps, and then we say goodbye to the crew from the Masamara, and next morning it's off back to Nairobi, and we come across a pack of wild dogs, which is most unusual, and they have just made a kill. Breakfast on the road, and then it's back to the Mathaga Club where we started 2 weeks ago. Next stop, Bahrain, then Bangkok, Hong Kong, and Tokyo. Finally, that's all.